our topic for today is all about the investigating graphs from primary data. So again, to investigate a graph, so we need to first to interpret and to analyze. Now, how to interpret the graphs? Okay, to interpret the graphs, so we need to, a graph means, or interpreting a graph means describing what the data shows based on what we see. So magbe-base tayo sa mismong result, sa mismong graph natin. Okay, so paano natin sasagutin yung mga questions na related sa interpreting data? So ito po yung mga possible na sentence na pwede nating simulan. Okay, so sentence frames, so ito yung mga pwede nating gamitin na sentence to answer the following question. Okay, first, based on the graph. Bakit? Kasi nga sabi po, what we see. Based on what we see, meaning naka-base lang tayo sa ating graph. Wala tayong ibang pagkukunan ng sagot. Pwede rin pong gamitin yung the graph shows that, and then your answer. And we can also use most students are in the score range. Okay, remember na. So to answer the interpreting the graph, okay, kailangan no opinions yet. Bakit hindi kailangan ng opinion? Kasi ano sabi dito? Okay, based on what we see, naka-base lang tayo sa graph. And then no reasons. Okay, just facts from the graph. So this time, let's try an example. Okay, so everyone, can you read first the given problem?
My teacher gave a 50-item exam to 20 students.
After checking the papers,
The teacher recorded
the scores and created the graph below. Okay, so ang study natin ay anong halimbawa kaya niyan? Primary or secondary? Sino ang researcher? Yung teacher, very good. And then sino yung magre-respond sa kanyang, yung respondents niya? Students. So anong ginawa ni teacher? Siya ay nagpa-exam. Ilang items? Ilang students? Okay, so ang ginawa niya, after niya magpa-exam, kinulat niya yung mga papers. At anong ginawa niya? Ni-record niya, and then na-create siya ng graph. At ito yung naging resulta anak ng kanyang pagkaka-record. So meron tayong 20 students. Sa category, ito yung score range. Dito naglalaro yung score. Then dito sa frequency, yung number of students. O, aralin natin yung ating graph. Anong graph ito? Okay, bar graph. So, sa 15 to 19, meaning ito yung scores. So, 15 to 19, isa lang yung estudyanteng nakakuha ng scores na between 15 to 19. Then, dito naman sa 20 to 24, ilang student? 1 lang din. How about 25 to 29? Tatlo, okay. How about 30 to 34? Dalawa. 35 to 39? Apat. 40 to 44? And then 45 to 50? Okay, kung ito total natin, tingnan natin kung 20. 1 plus 1? 2 plus 3? 5 plus 2? 7. 7 plus 4? 11 plus 4? 15 plus 5? Okay, meaning 20 lahat yan. Kaya nga sabi kanina, 20 students. So, meaning, ang researcher natin ay si math teacher. Nag-response, ang respondents niya ay yung mga students. Nagkalap ng data sa teacher, ibig sabihin, pasok po siya sa primary data. Okay, now, to interpret this graph, so we need to answer the following question. First question, everyone, can you read?
Which score range has the most students?
Okay, anong sabi natin kanina? To answer that question, pwede natin gamitin yung based on the graph shows that. Okay, sagutin natin ha. Ito yung score range. Ano na yung pinakamaraming student? Anong score kaya? Okay, very good. 45 to 50. So we can answer that question. Okay, we can answer that as, based on the graph, most students are found in the 45 to 50 score ranges. Para lang tayo anak sumasagot ng problem solving. Pero meron na tayong pattern sa unahan. Based on the graph, tapos sagutin mo yung tanong na binigay. Okay, do you understand po? Okay, so dito anak, possible iba-iba yung pag-construct natin ng English, pero hanggat nakikita ko yung 45 to 50, considered correct ko na yun. Kasi some of you, hindi naman tayo pare-pares kagalingan mag-English. Basta handun yung thought, considered correct na yun, ha? Okay, next, number 2. Second question, which score range has the fewest students? Okay, ano kaya, score range kaya? 15 to and 20 to 24. Nagamit natin yung based on the graph. Ano yung next? The graph shows that, ano kaya sagot? The graph shows that, okay, the score, or the graph shows that the score ranges 15 to 19 and 20 to 24 have the fewest students. Kokopyahin lang natin yung tanong. Tatanggalin lang natin anak yung WH question. Question po. Okay, next, number 3 tayo. Third question. So, how are the student scores distributed across the score range? Okay, based on the graph, what can you say about the bar graph? Anong itsura ng bar graph natin? Scattered ba siya? Based on the graph, ilang student ka, anak? 20. Based on the given bar graph, ilan kaya ang student na nakapasa? Out of 50, ilang items ang pasa? 35. Kailangan, ang score ng student ay 35 and above. And then, ang sabi daw dyan, anak, how are the student score distributed across the score ranges? Ito ba ay scattered? Galat-galat ba yung score nila? Hindi po, almost consistent, tama? Kasi kung mapapansin natin yung graph natin, ay hindi sobrang baba. Itong dalawa, medyo. Pero, bumawi naman dito. So, we can answer that question as, the graph shows that the scores are spread across all the ranges with more students in the higher score ranges. Bakit kaya ganyan ang answer? Kasi po, most of the students ay nakapasa naman. Out of 20, ilan ang pumasa? Sabi natin, ang passing scores ay 35 and above. O ilan kaya yung 35 and above? Ilang student to? 4. Ito. 4. 8 na po iyon. Plus 5. So 13 out of 20. Not bad po. Do you understand? Okay, and next, number 4. Are the student scores mostly found in the lower, middle, or higher ranges? Okay, very good. Higher ranges. So we can answer the question as, based on the graph, the student scores are mostly found in the higher score ranges. So question about interpreting the graphs. Do you understand po?